demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful card that looks quite complex with lots of layers. But it's really, really simple. It's made using the JND379 Michaelmas frame. And we've just used every die but one, this little centre star, to make this card. And it's just a case of cutting down. So it's really simple step by step. So we're going to use nearly every die within the Michaelmas frame die set to make quite the detailed card that we've just seen. So I'm going to start with the outside frame. And this is just an outside frame die that cuts in. It doesn't cut out. It fits obviously over that so you can layer them together. If you wanted to make it into a frame, you would just use one of your plain square dies. There isn't one included in this because there isn't enough space to get that completely right. However, if you use the 4.5 inch die from your press cut, either large or small nesting squares, it will fit perfectly. But for this one, we're just going to use that die. So I've got a piece of card here that I've cut to 6.5 inches, which just is the exact right size to make this frame beautifully. So I'm simply going to tape that down and we run that through our die cutting machine. I've got that already here, and all I've done is to glue this onto a piece of denim blue. So I'm using a mix of denim blue, coconut white and Pacific blue in this card. So I put that on and I put a little bit of foam tape on the back because this is going on to a larger card blank. So this is an 8x8 card blank, and I've just matted and layered it with a little bit of the Pacific blue and again some of the coconut white. I love this sort of keeping tone on tone and two different blues and a white on there. So we're just going to pop that down to give us the basis of our card. And again, if we wanted to, at this one, we could almost just put a selection of flowers on and a little sentiment on. There's a lot of different options we can do in here. So we'll move those away because we're now going to start doing the center sections. So first of all, I've got a piece of white card here. And this is again coconut white craft essential card, or craft artist essential card, I should say. And this has been cut to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And all I need to do is I'm going to use the Michaelmas frame again, and I'm going to take the lattice piece. I absolutely adore a lattice, and put that on. And I'm going to take the sort of floral, it's almost like a flower shape piece from the center, so that we get a frame to go down. Simply tape those together, pop that onto our card and run that through and cut that. And that will give us this beautiful frame here where we get this lattice work all the way around and the aperture in the middle. And again, some of the beautiful little flowers that we have in the stitch flower will work beautifully on that if you're wanting to make a smaller card. The next stage we do is we take that and we glue that down to a piece of card. Again, now this time we've switched to the Pacific blue and we've got that just here. And this is exactly the same size. And I'm going to use the next two dies in the set. So I'm going to take the detail die and I'm going to take the plain square, which just fits exactly in there. And that will give us a lot of detail, but we'll take it down to the next level. So we tape that down and we run that through and cut it. And that will give us this beautiful piece just here. So you can see here, I'll move the dies out a little bit. See here now we've got that beautiful lattice. We've got the colour showing through, but then we've got the detail showing through on that next layer, which just works so, so well. I'm then going to take another piece of card, again cut to the same size. We're going to pop that behind. And this time we're going to take the frame. Now I always get this mixed up when I've set this one up. So we're going to take, back to the denim blue. I'm going to pop that back in the same size. And this time I'm taking the frame and I'm taking the square. So we get those put in nice and even in the center. Again, if you're struggling, use the long piece of tape trick to pick that up, hover over, pick up your frame and get that nicely in the center of your card. And we run that through and cut that. And that will give us this, bring some white in so you can see. So we've got this beautiful arrangement here are the sort of miniature little Michaelmas daisies. Over the white, we drop our frame on top. You can see there, we're going down in colour each time. So the final step in this is to take the square die, which comes in the centre of the die set, and again place that into position, tape that down and cut that, which gives us this beautiful pattern here. So you can see as we build it up the different options that you can get. So we just frame that on, and again that would look beautiful just on a smaller card. We take our next layer on just like that. So what I want to do is balance the colours out. So we've gone from dark blue to the lighter blue to the dark blue to the lighter blue. So we want a piece for the middle here of the lighter blue. And all I've done is take a little scrap of card, because it doesn't really matter on this. And I'm going to use a little bit of glue glaze on the back of here, just to stick this down. Again, I don't want to spray glue the whole of this piece, as it'll make the whole back too sticky. So I'm just running that around there. I then take some Craft Artist Super Tacky glue and run that around the outside of the square. That means it's stuck down everywhere. So when I place this over, just like that, and press down, I turn it over, I can press those pieces down beautifully there. We have all of those in place, and it's nice and neat on the back. Really nice and simple. And I've actually noticed there something that really bugs me as a die cutter when there's a piece I haven't cleaned out. So I've taken that bit out, but obviously that bit's a little bit loose. Bring your glue glaze in, wipe your wand against it, and you can stick that straight down, and any that squidges out will dry completely clear. So we're now going to build this up. So I'm going to take the pieces that I've got, and I've added foam tape on the back of these already, just to make it nice and simple. And I'm putting the foam tape around the aperture. So now I frame that piece there. As I said, would make a beautiful centre like that. I've then got foam tape on the next layer. So I'm taking this off. I'm using 2mm foam tape, which is 10mm wide. It gives me that little bit of depth without being far too deep, and it doesn't make postage too difficult. Although with the flowers, this is quite a big card. So again, I'm just going to watch into the middle and frame that right. And at this point, you can just check, and any card that pops forward, tilt your scissors and simply trim it out. So I've got a little bit of the blue showing. And one of the best ways to do this is to bring a little bit of white in and just check. See, no, oh, yeah, that bottom, perhaps. Let's take a little bit more off that. And it actually showed on the white a little bit on this corner, which I didn't see. So it's always worth checking on the white to make sure. So here is our card blank. We've already matted and layered this with our beautiful Michaelmas frame. And I don't want any more depth to this. So simply using the Craft Artist Super Tacky glue, I frame that into position on that frame, giving me the perfect frame. You can see there, it works beautifully. And to finish off, I've just made here some of the stitched flowers with the centres. So if you want to know how to make these, just watch the stitched flower video. And I'm not putting any leaves on this because there's a lot of detail on here anyway. So I'm just putting 3 largest flowers here at the bottom left. And I'm going to take a little collection of the little centres, which I'd make into little flowers, just to echo that here at the top. There we go. And then, as with the original one that we saw at the beginning, you can, if you want to, decorate this with pearls. There are pearl spacers placed everywhere around this. So all I'm doing is simply adding some on each of those corners and taking a smaller one on each of these points here in the center of that frame, just to echo it. A little one in each 4 corners of the smaller frame. Just brings everything together. I mean, I would stick pearls everywhere. I absolutely love them. These are the Craft Artist white stick-on pearls, and we're just simply going to put one on each point here in the center panel. And again, if you want to sentiment it, you can add a little sentiment across there. But a very fancy card with a lot of layers, but actually isn't as thick as you would think. And it's just using nearly every die that comes within that die set. For more hints, tips, ideas and inspiration, why not visit the Crafting with John Next Door on Crafts2 group on Facebook. Enjoy.